God is calling you deeper. He's calling you deeper. He's calling you deeper. I'm bothered and a little bit befuddled that we spend so much time criticizing Peter for Peter had seen the wave and he began to sink. It didn't even say he sank, but he began to sink. And we criticize Peter and we demonize Peter. But I wonder about all of the other disciples that saw Jesus and had not the faith to ask, God, if it's you, bid me to come out on the water. There's a faith that must be respected of Peter to say, I am not okay with staying in the boat. I want to go deeper. It's interesting that it would be Peter that would bid to come out on the water with Jesus. For it was that same Christ that said to Peter, launch out into the deep. Remember when he was frustrated because all night he had fished. All night he had fished and caught nothing. And if I had time, I would just talk to people who've spent a long night and you've caught nothing. And your night has not been 6, 7, 8 hours as we count a physical night. It has been years of night, years of trying to make something work and it has not worked. Years of trying to make something fit and it has not fit. Years of trying to position and calculate and strategize and plan and pivot and it has not changed. And you've caught nothing. And there's a frustration when you see everybody else around you catching fish, but you don't catch any. And Jesus says to Peter, launch out into the deep. And I wonder if Jesus was not just speaking to Peter, but he's speaking to me and you. That if you're going to see God in this season on a deeper level, you've got to launch out into the deep. The writer of Hebrews says quite assertively, now that we have moved and understood the elementary principles of baptism and salvation and faith, now let us move on to the more advanced things. Deeper. Deeper. How long will you preach the same sermon? How long will you pray the same prayer? How long are you happy with a superficial understanding of God? How long are you satisfied with just getting what everybody else got? But when will you pray, God, I want to come out on the water. It's interesting that it is almost as if the water is where God does his best work. For we are told that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form or void. And the Spirit of God hovered, moved upon the face of the deep. It was there at the beginning that God in water moved and hovered over the face of the deep. Go deeper.